autonomous and some of the newer technologies, car sharing,
Sure.
ride sharing. Julia Stein is heading that initiative for GM. Will be speaking tomorrow morning, so you might want to go listen to her.
Actually, we have a couple of questions. Do you think ride sharing will increase or decrease automotive sales? Go write it down the panel.
Increase.
Increase.
I
know you think increase.
No, short and medium term, if you look at who the targets are for these programs, they're going to be people who are unable to use vehicles right now.
Right.
That's certainly a positive. And there are going to be a lot of people who currently commute either on a bus or a subway system who suddenly are going to be able to have a car that takes them to these
Right.
places. And then you also have just an adoption factor in terms of the need to have a network of these vehicles. And that's going to be slow in terms
Well,
of...
Brian Johnson said we're going to lose 75% of our sales. I mean,
maybe past 2035, but you know, very few people here will have to worry about that.
huh.
By the way, John, in our 2030 15.7, we assume no offsets from some of these, arguments that you can increase the. So we try to be conservative in that regard.
Yeah, we've got a paper out. We included what their the people, especially since they're moving back to the suburbs, don't all go to the same linear set of places at 8 o'clock in the morning. In the suburb, they go in all these directions. Ride sharing has been vastly overestimated.
And the network issue is very large, and the fact that people tend to commute all at once is also a big issue.
Yeah, that was
Right.
part of the model.
I can't wait to get a car for till 9:30 if I have to be at work at 8 in the morning. It just doesn't work.
Wouldn't Uber drivers kind of want a better car than the typical taxi a lot of us has ridden in? You know, that 20-year-old Grand Marquis with the bumpers wired on it.
But you know, a lot of times that autonomous discussion takes place absent any context. I mean, if you go to when I was growing up in Pakistan, we had autonomous. It was called the chauffeur, the driver. You know, took us to school first thing, then came back and took my dad to wherever he was going, then was available to my mom all afternoon. And that's still true in many countries, and especially in the emerging economies, that the cost of labor is still low enough that most people have drivers. And so if you really want to study how autonomous would work, look at the patterns in a lot of emerging economies where it's common to have drivers. And I can also tell you that the minute we grew up and could afford to have a car, we wanted our car. We didn't want to have the family car with the family driver. So I think you saw both interaction, both the, what I would call it semi-autonomous and wanting to own a car. I mean,
Having a chauffeur is an autonomous car, yeah.
Yeah, people always underestimate that buying a car is an aspirational thing too. And especially true in some of the large emerging economies like China and India and Pakistan and Nigeria, that people want to own a car. I mean, this whole nonsense of...
We wouldn't pay them rent. I mean,
Yeah.
I know. I mean, it's interesting. The ride-sharing thing is especially interesting to me because I think everything we talk about has already happened in that other durable good, real estate. I mean, there's every kind of timeshare, co-op,